Hey everybody, Jeppy here, and we're searching for love in the Valorant Protocol because today we're seeing what each agent loves the most here in Valorant. Now, since there hasn't been any confirmed relationships between agents in the protocol so far, we're going to have to see what the agents love the most in their personal lives. It could be family, their love for a particular hobby they have, or in Reyna's case, spoiler alert, killing people. Whatever it may be. We might as well start off with Reyna because I just spilled the beans on what she loves the most, but before we do, I want to shout out the fans of the channel who became members. It's greatly appreciated, and your support means everything. Also, thank you to everyone who also checks out the Twitch streams, Discord channel, Twitter, TikTok, all of that. It's so awesome seeing fans across so many platforms. It just makes me want to cry sometimes. And if you do enjoy the content, the biggest way to support the channel is subscribing. It goes a long way for the algorithm, and it makes me happy. All right, with my sappy plugs out of the way, let's talk about Reyna and what she loves the most. So I know earlier I said that Reyna's favorite thing is killing people, and well, I mean, that's kind of true. She clearly enjoys it. I mean, just take a look at these voice lines.
I've stood over so many corpses. A few more does not matter.
Yes! This is who I was meant to be.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a far stretch to say she genuinely just loves killing people, but I actually think there's only one more thing she loves more than straight up just, well, murder. And that has to be Lucia, her little sister. As I'm sure most of you guys know by now, Lucia is dying. We don't know why she is. Hopefully Riot will expand on it in the future. I think they will, but regardless, she is. Reyna is working at her max to collect as many souls as she possibly can, aka, well, killing people and taking them, to not only feed herself, but keep Lucia alive as well. Viper is helping with it by splitting the souls, but it's not efficient. We know Lucia means a great deal to Reyna, probably the thing she cares for the most in her life. And if she were to die, well, Reyna would have lost the one thing she loves the most in life, so I wonder what she'll do after that. Moving on though, let's talk about Brimstone. So not many people know, but Samara is a person that means a lot to Brimstone. At one point, Brimstone's best friend was a man named Tariq Porter, which he ended up watching die as he couldn't do anything to save him. Now, it's unknown if Samara was Tariq's wife or daughter, or maybe someone even totally different. It could even be someone related to Brimstone, but Fade brought up her name when talking about Tariq's death when she was the blackmailer. Initially, I was thinking that Samara or Tariq would have been a good pick for this list, but I do think Brim may love Valorant more than that. Yes, Tariq was his best friend growing up and pretty much his, his entire life, but now that he's a leader with people that depend on him, he may care for their safety and well-being more than anything else currently. Next, let's talk about Viper. I initially struggled with Viper's pick because, I mean, think about it. Does Viper really love anything? As far as I can tell, there isn't a person she cares about on an incredibly deep level. Maybe Omen when he was her co-worker at the Kingdom, but that's a far stretch. I think overall, the only thing Viper truly cares about is her work and research. In the Snakebite video, we see the only thing that seems to drive Viper is her gadgets and the research that goes along with that. Everything else in her life seems like it doesn't really satisfy her. Well, at least in her personal life. I think she probably enjoys being on the VP. The next agent we're going to talk about is Omen. It's hard to think of something for Omen because we know he enjoys knitting and scaring his enemies, but I wouldn't really say that's like a thing he loves most in life. I think the thing he lives for is the hope that he'll one day either regain his memories and figure out what happened to him, or will someday become a human again and leave the hell he is currently living. I can't think of anything else that means more to Omen than that. Can you? Up next, we have Killjoy. Now, this one was pretty obvious to me. While her gadgets and machinery she creates is one of the top things she loves to do and create in her life, I think the thing she loves the most actually is people recognizing and appreciating her intelligence. So many voice lines she has talks about how smart she is or to not undermine her intelligence. She wants to prove herself superior in the smarts department to everyone else around her, and she wants people to know that. You can also make a case for Brimstone being something she loves the most because he's like a father figure to her, but I think the pick I went with in the video definitely overshadows that. Agent number 5 is Cypher. Now, Cypher is pretty easy for me. I know for a fact that his love for his family and a particular girl named Nora is by far the thing he cares about most in his life. Even though they are presumably dead, nothing means more to him. Not his gadgets, committing crimes, surveillance, nothing. It's his family that drives him. Enough so that he even piques interest when talking to Sage, which makes me think he at least has hopes he'll maybe one day see them again.
So, Sage, you can bring people back from the dead? Anyone? No constraints? Interesting.
Next, we got to talk about Sova. Now, initially, I was going to pick something like hunting or Sova loving the cold outdoors or photography even. Now, while those are things I'm sure he cares about and enjoys doing something greatly, I do think that the one thing he loves the most in life is his grandmother that we got to see in the Twitter Takeover series. We've never seen Sova show so much compassion for anything or anyone as far as I've seen. So I think that the fact that it's likely she raised him and how he loves to go back and visit her, Sova's grandmother is going to be the pick for me. Agent number 7 is Sage. I think most people will say that the thing Sage loves most is healing people and bringing people back to life, but I'm here to counter that. Yes, of course, it's something that she enjoys doing, but it's also something that she's tired of people thinking that's the only thing she does. How many voice lines does she have where she says something along the lines of, "I'm not just a healer," or "Today I was the sword"? Like, she wants to be recognized and seen as something other than healing people. So I think to a degree, it kind of annoys her that she has those powers. I think the thing Sage loves the most is her culture. She serves as a monk and dresses accordingly as well. She seems to be upset when she visits Haven and points out how the kingdom destroyed this beautiful temple. So yeah, it's probably something you guys didn't expect, but I think Sage's love for her culture is the thing she cares about most. After Sage, we have Phoenix. Now, this one is incredibly easy. I don't even have to like beat around the bush or anything. It's literally his love for being the center of attention. He's also a materialistic person and loves to own things that he thinks are cool, that like his shoe collection, and Phoenix also produces music. But what do you think these materials and being a music artist do for Phoenix? Well, it draws attention to him. So I would say without a doubt that attention is the thing Phoenix loves the most. Up next though is the Wind Girl Jet. So Jet was a tricky one for me. There isn't really any person that we know of that she cares for greatly, at least anything I can tell. There isn't a particular hobby or event that she like shows an over appreciation for. So I was kind of stumped. I guess she likes gambling that we saw in the warm-up cinematic, but I wouldn't really call that the thing she loves most in life. I think Jet's personality and the Twitter takeover video we got of her could give us a clue. Jet seems to be a person that doesn't really have a care in the world and does what she wants when she wants, out of the name of fun and excitement. So I'm going to have to say her free-willed attitude on life is going to be my pick. The takeover video really gave us a glimpse of Jet's wild life on any particular day of just having a fun time. Vandalizing property? Yes. But fun? Also yes. Now we have Raze, and this one's pretty easy because it's so heavily portrayed in like every cinematic or video she's like ever been a part of. Her voice lines and interactions with other agents also proves this. Raze loves music. It's the thing that she vibes to the most and hypes her up to do the things she does. She's always blasting music on her headphones and dancing / destroying things along the way. You could argue that Breach is someone she cares about the most, and I will say that yes, Breach is like her best friend and helped her out in so many ways in their past, but man, the tunes is what really gets Raze going the most. So yeah, that's my pick. Up next though is Breach, and I'm sure a bunch of you guys are just going to automatically assume like crime and just being a bad boy is the thing that he loves the most, but I'm going to have to disagree. Recognition is something Breach yearns for the most and loves to have when he gets it. Born an amputee, the judge that sentenced the entire rest of his family to prison for a long time besides him because of his disability. He wanted to be recognized. He became a notorious crime lord and became braver and braver with his stunts to be recognized. Even one of his clutch voice lines shows this.
Always got to overprove myself.
I think he's sick of everyone seeing him as just an amputee and won't really think much of him. Just like how Sage is sick of being just a healer and being seen for one thing. Breach wants more. He wants recognition. Next up, we gotta talk about Sky. This was gonna be short. I'm pretty sure I don't have to say this at all because, well, you already know what it is. Sky loves nature, specifically protecting and preserving it. Nothing gives her more joy in life than nature, and an entire radiant power is themed around it as well. So yeah, Sky is pretty easy for this list. Someone who is definitely tougher to answer this question is going to be Yoru. Now, what does Yoru love in life? Yeah, this is tough. We know he has a knife collection when he talks to Jet.
What brand are your knives, Jet? They're not Mammoth. Segredo, maybe? I need one for my collection.
But I don't think knives are the things he loves the most. He enjoys beating up criminals and bullies on the streets in the neighborhood, but hates when he gets recognition for it. He loves his motorcycle, but again, is that really something he like lives for? So what is it? I think at this point, it has to be him discovering more about his culture. If we were to make this list when Yoru first came out, I would say Yoru loves his arrogance and being better than everyone else the most. But now that he's had some time to develop, his ancestry and the history that comes along with that is the thing he loves the most. Well, at least in my eyes. It really is a mystery with everything that's happened to him on Icebox, so you can't really blame him, right? Anyone else got any ideas? I really struggle with Yoru. Up next is the Astral Guardian Astra. Pretty easy with this one. It's going to be space or the cosmos, whatever you want to call it. She's literally a guardian of it and can bend it to her will with her radiant powers and her gauntlet. Besides like her love for space and wanting to learn more about the Guardians, I can't really find anything else that she like genuinely likes. Well, of course, maybe besides like poking fun of people and having a good time. She definitely is a very, very outgoing person and says whatever's on her mind. But yeah, space is the pick for me. Next up is the Toaster KO. So I'm torn between two things here with KO, guys. Either it's his programming or the human emotions he has. Killing Radiants and ensuring that they don't hurt people, or his very best friend Brimstone, the one in the Radiant Wars. It's kind of up to your interpretation. Do you think KO's programming outweighs anything else and it's the thing he cares about the most because after all, it is the very nature of his existence? Or do you think the emotions outweighs his programming that he has, which is pretty intense for a robot? I'll leave it up to you guys. Ah, yes. Now we have the rich French boy Chamber up next. There are quite a few things Chamber loves: money, guns, and weapons. And don't forget about his style. He is arrogant, self-centered, and pretty much only looks out for himself. So is it too far to say that the thing Chamber loves the most in life is, well, himself? I don't think that's a far stretch at all. But let's think about this a little deeper though. What is the one goal Chamber is trying to achieve with using all these other interests at his disposal? Power. Chamber loves power. He uses the best weapons, lives the best lifestyle, and in order to gain power the quickest, you do have to be self-centered to a degree, and Chamber's got a ton of that. So I think power is 100% the thing Chamber loves the most in life. Now we have Neon. Neon is a little tough. We know a ton of things that she likes, like basketball and football, music, decorating, eating her favorite foods, hanging out with friends, but I can't really find one thing that she loves the most. Well, actually, I think we do have something. And no, it's not electricity or batteries. I think Neon genuinely loves her family. One of the first things she did was call her parents to tell her how things were going when she joined the Valorant Protocol. She loves her grandma and eats some of her favorite foods she makes as well. She also has quite a few voice lines talking about her grandma, so I think it's safe to say that family is the thing that means the most to her. Next up is the Nightmare Fade. So what does Fade love? Scaring people, learning about their deepest and darkest fears, blackmailing. Well, yes, of course, those are things that Fade is no stranger to. I wouldn't say she loves it. I think the only real thing we have to go off here is the man that Fade was looking for, which led to the whole blackmailing thing in the first place. She cares about this person enough to research everything the Valorant Protocol feared the most and threatened them for a few months, thinking we had the guy she is looking for. Now, we don't know if it's a romantic relationship, brother, or even a friend, but clearly there's someone out there that Fade cares about enough to do all the things she did. I wonder who it is. Last up though is going to be Harbor, the newest agent of the protocol as of now. And it's incredibly easy with Harbor, guys. It's his love for history. It's the reason why he joined Realm. We can hear a ton of his voice lines pointing historical things out on maps and referencing history literally all the time. He's a man that loves the past, studying it and learning from their mistakes and successes. It's quite literally what he lives for and enjoys most in life. All right, well, those are all the agents and what they loved most in life. If you enjoyed the video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe notifications if you're new. Now, with all that being said, Jeppy out.